I'm Jim Renato, Dean of the Hobby School of Public Affairs, and I'm very pleased to welcome you to the site of the future Hobby School of Public Affairs building on this historic day. Since its founding nearly 9 years ago, the Hobby School has emerged as a partner in the academic life of the University of Houston, and today we take another step towards solidifying its contribution on campus and the next generation of leaders in our community. There have been numerous collaborators in this ongoing process. It's seen in the Hobby School Advisory Board members, led by Ashley Smith, and with the support of people like Beth Robertson. They are deeply committed and dedicated to student success and see this building as just one more asset in supporting our students. It's also evident in the passion of our faculty and staff who are on the front lines of our mission and culture. It's evident in the UH leadership, and it's evident in the innovative architects, Lake Slato and Moody Nolan, who have made this all a reality. Indeed, this building will intimately connect study with practice, facilitate interactions among students, policymakers, and practitioners, and serve as a hub and a convener of research, civic engagement, and the thought-provoking lectures on policy issues and leadership challenges. I should also add that when we were recruiting architects, they would ask us, what's your goal? And we would say, support our collaborative and dynamic culture. And the architects that looked like we were from Mars, the Lake Slato, they got it right away. And there's a behavioral science behind collaborative cultures in a structure. But probably most importantly, the process of fostering positive change never ends. There's always something else to do where new ground can be implement curriculum strategies and initiatives that extend beyond the classroom to position our students and alumni at the forefront of effective government and community leadership. And this will be the home for all of this to happen. Now, this building is testament to the collaboration of our elected officials, community, and colleagues. And for the last few years, it's been about please. Today, it's about public thank yous. So I'd like to acknowledge a few groups in this next series of comments. First of all, I'd like to acknowledge our elected officials, Speaker Dustin Burrows, Speaker Dade Phelan, Speaker Dennis Bonin was here and he had to go, but he's here. He's here. Oh, I apologize. Representative Garnet Coleman, Representative Anna Hernandez, Representative Suleiman Lalani, Representative Armando Wally, who is also integral in the development of the building, Representative Charlene Ward Johnson, Council Member Sally Alcorn, Council Member Carolyn Evans Shabazz. There are staff representation for State Representative Mano Diala, Council Member Joaquin Martinez, Council Member Fred Flickinger, Council Member Marianne Huffman. In addition, there are staff representatives for the Office of Senator Ted Cruz and State Senator Paul Betancourt. I'd also like to thank the Hobby School Public Affairs Advisory Board who are present today. And finally, I'd like to thank the Hobby School Public Affairs faculty, staff, ambassadors, and students. This is why we're here. Now, I'm pleased to introduce our president, Renu Khater, but I'd like to say a few things about her first. I have to say something. I think you have to look far and wide across the United States in the last 20 years to have a more dynamic president of a university. The changes that have happened here, and I've been here for all of it, have been remarkable. And when I see other deans around the country and we talk about what we're doing, what they're doing, there's a gap, and that gap is due to her. Chancellor?
Thank you. Well, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much for your kind remarks. But what a great day it is. I love breaking ground. So I love construction. I love to see progress. So here we are. But today we are gathered here to really break ground on the new home of Hobby School of Public Affairs. This has been a long journey, a journey that has been filled with growth and milestone and amazing impact. This has also been a journey that has been fueled by passion and generosity. So I'd like to talk about three people in particular. And first one is Welcome W. Wilson Sr. He was the board chairman in 2010, and I had come here just in 2008. We had Center for Public Policy, and he came to me and said, we need to have a name on our Center for Public Policy. And this name has to be a very credible name that everybody knows. So he says, Chancellor, you think about it, and I'll think about it, and let's meet in 1 week. Well, the very next day he called me, just like you know how Welcome Senior was. He says, the best name for us to have on our Center for Public Policy is Bill Hobby, the most respected statesman, the most effective governor that Texas has seen. And he says, and the most dynamic person who made a very important change at the University of Houston when he was chancellor here for 2 years. He combined the chancellorship and presidentship, thus eliminating all of the system-related expenses. So we really don't have any today because all the money can go back into the student success pieces. So he was instrumental in that. He and I then went to see Governor Hobby, who lived right across from our house, the Wortham House. When we arrived here, he came to greet us, and he basically said, Chancellor, remember to always invite me if anything you're having about the University of Houston, because if you did not invite me, I have a habit of showing up in my pajamas. So I do remember that, and I did invite him every time, but even when, we didn't have any event going on, he was so kind and so generous. Governor Hobby, with his advice, with his history, with his encouragement. I had heard about him, but I did not know what an approachable person he was and what a dynamic and fun person he is and has been when we were there. He is no longer living in that house, and we miss him quite a bit. Happy to have 2 of his grandchildren here today. That's just such an honor for us. So Governor Hobby was the second person I want to talk about. The third person I really want to talk about is former House Representative Garnet Coleman. And that is because not just what he has done here for this building or this center, but what he has done for the University of Houston. An outstanding, very effective elected official, very effective leader. And one thing is there for sure, he did the original funding, he had the vision, he did the original funding for the Center for Public Policy, then he got additional funding, and he got funding for this building project that you will see in 2 consecutive sessions. In the first session, he got the funding when there was no CCAP or TRB bill, by the way, and the second session, he got additional funding for it. So if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't be standing here today. Now, I'll admit, he was not always happy with me, or... Yes, exactly. And one thing is there, though, those were very temporary things when he was upset, but he had a reason. One thing was absolutely continuous and stable, and that was his passion and support for the University of Houston. He cared deeply about the university, he cared deeply about the students, he cared deeply about the Center for Public Policy. So I'm very, very grateful for all of these 3 individuals. I, of course, yes, let's give a hand. And even today, when he's no longer in the legislature, he and I cross paths in the corridors of the Capitol, and he'll tell me every single time, Chancellor, let me know how I can help you. So that's the kind of person Garnet is. I also want to thank, of course, the advisory board. We have had some sessions in our office, and I really thank you for what you do every day, provide vision and passion and funding and support and direction to the Hobby School of Public Affairs. Dean Granado should also be thanked because through the thick times or thin times, good or bad, tight or growing times, he has always been committed to the school. So thank you so much, Dean Granado. Appreciate you. I want to also thank, of course, the faculty. Without you, we don't have a school. So what you do here, the Hobby School, your reports that I get to read, your briefings, your white papers, just absolutely outstanding. And the alumni and students. Those students who serve as Hobby Fellows, I can tell you there may not be any office in Texas capital there that has not been touched, or there's no visitor that goes there who has not been touched by these Hobby Fellows. And you can recognize, by the way, if you go, they will be the most eager one, the most smiling one, and the happiest of all the people you will see there. They are just beaming with pride and showing off their University of Houston, always come running and greeting me. And such an excellent education for them and a terrific, terrific building of the future leaders for us. I also want to point out to you that, the students and alumni, very special as well. I want to point out today is a very historic day. I don't think, at least in 17 years, it has never happened. We had 3 speakers on our campus. I mean, current speaker, thank you so much for being here. I was like thrilled to see him here, because Speaker Burrows, and we have had conversation as we were planning in terms of the endowment last session, and he has been absolutely so instrumental. The partnership between Texas Tech and University of Houston has done magic, and I think we'll continue doing that. But we do appreciate your leadership and caring for the University of Houston. And then we had, yes. And 2 other former speakers, Speaker Phelan, who I believe had to leave because he had something else, and of course, Speaker Bonin. Thank you so much. I mean, we've never had that. I mean, that is such a historic day for us. I also want you all to know that this school is supported by the entire university because it is interdisciplinary. Anything that goes on in public policy touches almost every single college and every single area. So to show you what we have here, I've got my cabinet, so many members of my cabinet here. Eloise Bryce, just keep shaking your hand. Vice Chancellor for Advancement, Diane Chase, the Provost, Lisa Holdeman for Marketing and Media Relations, Paul Kittle for Student Affairs, Paul is somewhere, Claudia Newhauser for Research, Jason Smith, of course, we all know. Jason Smith, thank you for all your work. And we also have, even though he's super tired, but we have our athletic director, Eddie Nunez, here too to support Hobby School. And he's here because he needs a good public policy in this space with NIL and with everything else, right? So we do need. And Ramanan Krishnamurthy is here as well for Vice President for Energy and Innovation, and my Chief of Staff, Mike Johnson. So thank you all so much for being here. So many college deans are here as well, other than Jim Granado. Sarah Larson, Graduate School Dean, is here, as Dan O'Connor, so I haven't seen him, but maybe he did come from class. Patricia Oliver from Architecture, and Christina Gola from UH Libraries, thank you. Kathy Horn from College of Education, Heidi Apple from Honors College, and Andrew Davis from Catherine G. McGovern College of the Arts. So you can see how we all take an ownership into the success of this school. So this has been a long journey, but I want you to know that this journey is not over. Sometimes you don't want journey to be over because the journey is so beautiful. We continue to march toward excellence. This building will provide the next launch pad to the Hobby School of Public Affairs to really do more, to build a better future, and to provide better assistance and public policy guidance, no matter what field it is, whether it's energy, healthcare, urban planning, sports, or anything else. Everywhere public policy is needed. So I want to thank everybody for your support. I want to thank everybody who is here today to express your support. And I'm sure very soon, and that's a challenge to our construction team now, because now it comes to you. It's a challenge. Project better be in budget and on time. And we'll gather here again to really cut the ribbon on that, and it will be a beautiful day. So congratulations, everybody, and thank you.
President Couture, thank you for your support and your leadership, not only for this new building, but throughout the history of the University of Houston. You've been an advocate for the university's success locally, nationally, and globally, and we are very grateful. Now, we are fortunate today. It's already been mentioned, we've got 3 speakers here, so maybe we can start a think tank at the hobby school. We have Speaker of the House, the Honorable Dustin Burrows. But before you step up, has been crucial in securing support for the building. But in addition, to leave the legislature at a peak time is quite something. So thank you for doing that. And I remember asking Governor Hobby once, what was it like the last few weeks or month of the legislative session? And he looked at me and he said, well, did you ever drink out of a fire hose? And I said, no. And he said, well, you'd be drinking out of 4 of them. So, Mr. Speaker, thank you and welcome.
Well, thank you for the opportunity to be here. It definitely is drinking out of 4 fire hoses, and I want to acknowledge first my good colleague, Armando Wally. We were on the House floor to what time last night? 3:30? 3:30 a.m. It was the budget day, which is a very important day because this is where buildings like this and U of H and Houston get funded. And I hope you know how lucky you are to have a longtime appropriator in Armando Wally, somebody who's not just been on the Appropriations Committee, but has been on the Conference Committee. And I hope that you're teaching everybody here at the School of Public Policy what that means and how important that is, because it really is where all the magic does happen. So I hope you all appreciate that, and that's a wonderful thing. So I am out of Lubbock. I've been a Tech fan all of my life, but the person who made the University of Houston sincerely my second favorite team is this gentleman right here, Garnett Coleman. When I showed up to the Texas legislature over a decade ago, he was the first chairman I had as a chairman on a committee. And he recognized, being from Lubbock, I was probably a Texas Tech person. And he explained the historical connection between the 2 universities that were kind of the other 2 systems, sometimes overlooked, forgotten about, while the other 2, nothing against them, seemed to have all of the political capital and all the capital, to get things done. But he convinced me, because he had worked with legislators out of Lubbock for a long time, if University of Houston and Texas Tech stick together, we can do so many more big things. And I truly believe that, and we've seen the dividends from that. Chairman Coleman was a great committee chairman. County Affairs was a committee that he made a wonderful experience for all of us who served on it. It had the jurisdiction of the world. It wasn't supposed to, but with Garnett out there, he made everything that was topical something that we could basically study and have our input on. And he took a guy from West Texas, a Republican, and made him a believer in criminal justice reform, talking about things that we could do for people who had addictions and other services, because he would bring people to testify in that committee. He would use his power of persuasion. He had a lot of power of persuasion. And show us what the right thing to do was, regardless of party. And there were many of us. It was not just me. All of us who served on there learned about policy and how we could come together and find common ground. So I think it's fitting. I think it's fitting that we're here today talking about a school dealing with public policy, because it's not made in a vacuum. It is made with real people coming together, different experiences, different issues, talking, thinking through things, and actually coming up with real solutions. So here's what I look forward to. I look forward to seeing the fruits of this school. I know the school's been here with the building. I'm looking forward to more interns around the Capitol, more U of H presence, more of it, because I know what is being done here is going to make a difference not only in Houston, but in Austin, the entire state, and the entire world. So it is an honor to be here. I thank you for letting me share it with y'all. I thank you for letting me share it with my really good friend, Garnet Coleman, and I appreciate you. Good luck and God bless.
Thank you, Speaker Burrows. Now, next, I would like to welcome one of our biggest advocates in obtaining this new building, former Representative Garnet Coleman. But before you step up, he's been the champion for, we're now the hobby school, but this goes back to the 1990s. He was the one who helped secure funding for what was then called the Center for Public Policy. And I see our founding director, Dick Murray, is in the audience. And of course, Renee Cross, who was also integral to that, the start of that center. That center grew into the school. And Garnet has been there all the way through. And the speaker mentioned about Garnet giving you advice about this, that, and the other, and introducing you to things. I've had that in the last 19 years in spades. So, at the beginning of his service, he helps create the Center for Public Policy, and to culminate his service, he helps secure funding for the hobby school. It's quite a bookend. So, Representative Coleman, welcome.
Thank you, and I've learned how to be brief. First of all, the University of Houston is a very special place. Very special place. It has proven to be a jewel in the city. We used to say just in the city, but it's in the state and it's in this nation. Clearly, was that Monday night? Monday night, it was clear we're a jewel in sports again because of the work that's being done. I mean, I was one of them fly slam jam people, so you know, it's to see that is amazing, absolutely amazing. Because, you know, I hate to say this, but I got hoodwinked when the Southwest Conference was undone. And I can tell you, Bob Bullock, Ann Richards, and some other people knew exactly how to undo us, and they did. They did. But we're back, and there's nothing they can do about it. So, also, we had to be very clear that Texas Tech had a good run in this postseason. Showing that schools of our size, are a force to be reckoned with. And I think that's a big deal. But we are a force to be reckoned with, Mr. Speaker, when it comes to academics. And that's truly the most important thing, particularly when we talk about academics and athletes. And we know that that's the case. Madam Chancellor, you know, your tenure has been amazing, absolutely amazing. And that's because you set goals that make people stretch, and you do, and that's a big deal. Beth, your family has been with this school for a very long time. And you've never abandoned it, and you write checks. That's a big deal too, writing those checks. I mean, I hate to say that, but it's true. So, Mr. Speaker, Dennis, and Dade and Armando, they had to put up with me pushing for money. I think they finally got to the point where they were like, God damn, can't you shut up? But it was really important for us to have a public policy school because ultimately when we look at what we're doing here at universities, we are setting the table for changes that are necessary, and we have to keep bringing people in to accomplish those goals. And when I see the elected officials that are in this room, particularly from the city, it's a tent, isn't it? And from the state, it's a big deal. And the work that you all do at this school with the county and with other areas of public policy and the members of Congress. There's the Leland internship program, and that's a big deal. I was an intern in Mickey Leland's office, and I can tell you it was a big deal, an absolutely big deal. Okay, so everybody here has been a part of this, and that means you have to continue the work. You have to. And this school is going to be what it already is, but be a school that is the upper tier of public policy schools and already is headed that way and will be that. I don't want to miss anybody. Hobby family, let me say something. I grew up in the Hobby family, and the Cullens, Robinsons. They clearly believed in government that really took care of people. And through this, of course, I got to know them in the legislature, but this has been different, getting to know Bill Hobby and his commitment to the public policy pieces that bring us to a place where it is revered. Right, Renee? So, by the way, Renee was my first intern. So just so you know. So it's really important that we continue to do these things and that the people here continue to do these things. And if I miss somebody please say something. Okay, did I? Okay. Well, thank you all for being here and being a part of this. And I'm going to continue to be a part of this until I can't be a part of anything anymore. So thank you all. Congratulations to the faculty and staff. Congratulations to Dean Granado and the advisory board, and of course to the chancellor. And thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Coleman. It's been an honor to work with you and get to know you. It's been a wonderful experience. If you'd have picked the two people that really made this happen, the first would be Governor Hobby, and tied for first would be Governor Hobby and Representative Coleman. Both of them made this happen. And speaking of Governor Hobby, I want to say the Hobby family embodies public service, and that's why we are proud that former Texas Lieutenant Governor Bill Hobby's legacy continues through the school. His grandsons, Eric and Walker, are here to witness this milestone. And now I'd like to invite Eric Hobby to make a few comments. Eric?
Good afternoon. My name is Eric Pettis Hobby. My brother, Walker Hobby, and I have the distinct honor of being here representing the Hobby family and specifically our grandfather, former Lieutenant Governor William Pettis Hobby, Jr. My grandfather wishes that he could be with us in person at the ceremony today, but at 93 years old, he's with us in spirit only. In expressing his profound gratitude that this university he holds so dear will host a building bearing his name, my grandfather asked that I relay a few remarks to you all. First off, we want to express our sincere gratitude to really everyone here in attendance today. Thank you to Madam Chancellor. Thank you to members of the Board of Regents, to Dean Granado. Thank you as well to the Lake Flato team. I think we have a couple of the architects here with us today. And Speaker Burrows and Representative Coleman as well. Thank you all. My grandfather has been a longtime friend of the University of Houston, dating back all the way to 1965 when he first joined the Board of Regents. He served in this capacity for 4 years before being elected Lieutenant Governor of Texas and serving for a record 18 years. He then returned to the University of Houston, this time in the capacity as Chancellor, as was remarked earlier, and served in that position from 1995 to 1997. If my grandfather's legacy is anything, it's education. That's where he chose to spend his time. That's where he chose to spend his dollar. That's where he chose to focus much of his effort in public service. He served as a member on the Select Committee for Public Education, and this committee's recommendation laid the groundwork for education reform across the state of Texas. As he would frequently state in speeches advocating for such reform, Texas depends on the ideas that come out of educated minds. For him, supporting education at places like the University of Houston was key to unlocking Texas' potential for generations to come. Zooming in, he has long held that Houston cannot be a great city unless the University of Houston is an excellent university. And thanks to the tireless efforts of so many people here, led by Dr. Couture and countless others, that dream has become a reality. So on behalf of my grandfather and our family, thank you again for this profound honor, and thank you for this investment in the future of the Hobby School of Public Affairs and in the future of this excellent university. Go Cougs.
Thank you, Eric. Before we head off to the sandbox, which we'll recall childhood memories, the mayor of the city of Houston has issued a proclamation for the Hobby School Public Affairs groundbreaking. So thank you, Mayor Whitmire. Okay, before we enjoy the reception, I invite you all to join us at the sandbox, which is back there, for the ceremonial groundbreaking of new Hobby School Public Affairs. Thank you very much for attending.